Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Lyana Lazim, the author of this paper, with also my co-author Nur Azura Muhammad Salim and Dr. Samsudin Wahab. As for today, we're going to present the paper for second Penang International Conference of Economics, Society and Technology. And our title for this paper is Low Morality Among Employees Due to Pandemic COVID-19 and Leadership Challenge, a literature survey. Leaders play an important role in organization. Their role is always demanding, but COVID-19 makes it even more challenging. As we all know, 2020 is the most challenging year. Sudden outbursts of COVID-19 leave many countries no option but to announce lockdown in an attempt to slow down the rate of infection. This caused economic sector to stall and caused many businesses to go bankrupt or downsizing. According to Employment Insurance Scheme, as at end September 2020, 79,737 employees in Malaysia lost their job this year. People are also feeling insecure and fear the probability of job and pay loss during this pandemic, and this has led to declining in employees' morale. In addition, many companies are taking the initiative to reduce salary of their employees in an effort to avoid employees' retrenchment. This causes employee emotion to be disturbed, which in turn leads to lack of morale among employees. As reported by Cube et al. 2013, salaries reduction has constant impact on productivity, resulting more than 20% decrease in average output. So based on this actually, the objective of this paper is to study the pandemic COVID-19 effect on employees' morale and to study how leaders can improve employees' morale throughout this pandemic. First, we will see the literature review. According to Venkatachalem and Sakuntala 2015, moral is an situation in which employees are enthusiastic and confident in completing the assigned task. Kanimozi and Vinod Kumar 2018 in their studies conclude that employee morale is regarded as feeling comfortable in working environments, and employees who are enthusiastic and satisfied tend to have high morale, and those who are negative and dissatisfied have poor morale. Okay, Rush and Bell 2016 mentioned that good moral employees are more committed to the job and organization, while Q et al. 2013 indicate that in order to sustain high productivity and voluntary cooperation in firm, high moral is crucial. Okay, later we're going to see the studies on the pandemic COVID-19. Okay, it was reported that WHO declared COVID-19 as a global pandemic, stressing that the outbreak of the severity of the virus are very alarming. This is reported by Berita Harian at 12 March 2020. And then later study by Fuchinota and Benelli 2020, the number of cases outside China rose 13-fold at the beginning of March 2020, while the number of countries with cases increased threefold. Cauchy and Bularia 2020, due to rapid increase in new cases every day, many countries are compelled to enforce a total lockdown in which all economic sectors in all sectors has been completely halt in such situation. Okay, Rawat 2015 mentioned that leadership is the skill to influence others in accomplishing organizational goals in the most effective and efficient manner. Han and Chang 2020 emphasized that employee has high expectation to the leaders to focus and take firm action to address current issues. Bakary 2070 indicate that through variety of ways, Leaders develop employee ability to adapt new role after change is implemented. Okay, so this paper will be review the article according to the objective mentioned before. The primary research method for this study is literature survey. This study will review various types of leadership theory in which to handle employees' crisis. Based on this understanding, a classification method will be developed to categorize article for the purpose of findings. Finally, one recommendation are made based on the finding. Okay, so as this is actually a literature survey, we have go through 10 articles related to moral and leadership. Okay, the first article we go through is highlight on the issue of ineffective leadership cause poor moral among employees, leading to negative consequence of efficiency at work. Okay, so it was recommended transformational leadership style approach as the best approach to implement or to improve employee moral and productivity. Another approach that we suggest is actually transactional approach. Okay. Later, the second study, he highlight on the issue of the role of leaders in influencing employee moral. Okay, participatory and autocratic leadership style are the most suitable to be applied in the service and hospitality, especially, okay, particularly on the basis of the unique characteristic of both leadership style. The third study highlight the issue on the concern raised on what variables lead to moral declining among employees. Besides, these studies also intend to see whether motivation is sufficient to achieve a set goal. The result of the study shows a significant relationship between moral, motivation, and productivity. The author proposed some appropriate measures that can be considered by leaders to overcome this matter. First is to ensure a positive work environment that can encourage confidence, discipline, and willingness among employees. Second is to ensure a strong and sustained compensation policies that bridge the gap between employee salaries. And third is increasing employees' job satisfaction by restructuring, by conducting training of skill education. Okay, later the fourth study focus on the issue of poor leadership is indeed one of the factors contribute to low moral among employees. So it was recommended aesthetic leadership approach to overcome moral problem within employees. Okay, the fifth studies is actually focus on the approach on which could be used to motivate employees to complete various tasks given and to ensure that they are satisfied with the job. The result of the study have shown that participatory leadership style can be used as employee moral booster. The study also suggests that leaders may try consultative leadership style as a form of organizational strategy. Okay, the six studies focusing on the existence of many competitors in the same industry force organizations to set high goals, and leaders are responsible for leading employees to meet targeted roles. This forces leaders to use a variety of approaches which are sometimes seen as offensive and leading to employees' low morale. Okay, the finding of the study shows that economic working environment has a major impact on employee morale and significantly influence the level of staff turnover and productivity. Furthermore, in accordance with the result of the study, leaders will need to change their behavior for better as employees are happy with the leadership behavior who acts as role model to subordinate. Okay, the seventh study will concentrate on how leaders impact the employees' moral by implementing moral action. Study identify a decision taking by implementing moral and skill determinant will affect which whether decision taken are ethical or not. The study suggests that leaders need to act in good moral in order to avoid employees' misconduct In this situation, ethical leadership style is the most suitable to be implemented. The next study will check on the relation between leadership and morality on the ground of leaders' importance. Leaders are recommended to implement directive and supportive leadership style that will build more trust, moral encouragement, and challenge for their employee. Okay, the nine article or the nine previous study that we go through is actually focusing on the COVID-19 epidemic and how it affect the enterprise and the problem of insufficient leadership ability to handle crisis. This is due to the general lack of research on the combination of leadership theory and enterprise crisis management. Okay, the finding of the study found that the transformational leadership have a direct relationship of positive relationship with crisis management performance. Okay, and the last study or the last article is highlighting on the issue on the effect of ethical leadership on emotion exhaustion in high moral intensity situation. The author suggests a psychological process in which ethical leadership influence emotional exhaustion directly and indirectly through team unity. Okay, result shows that during pandemic COVID-19, employees' morale are affected due to the feeling, insecurities, and workload. Employees are not motivated, feeling insecure, stressed, and have no job satisfaction. Thus, leaders' roles are important to boost up employee morale and motivate them to better working environment, especially during this crucial time. Depending on the situation and organizational background, leaders should react in the most appropriate way. In current situation where people are forced to adapt new norms, it may lead to negative impact on people moral. In this time, people need to depend on one another to help morally and emotionally. Thus, aesthetic leadership recommend as aesthetic leadership preserve the relationship between followers and leaders in harmonious atmosphere that bring positive working environment to organization. Besides that, ethical leadership and behavioral approach can also be adopted in order to solve the crisis among employees during this pandemic. Employees mostly are easily swayed. How leaders act have great impact on employee morale. Leaders need to help subordinates to feel comfortable and also need to provide guide to help employee in understanding the good and bad of every decision made. Based on the studies, it can be concluded that failure in leadership will contribute to major negative impact in organizational. Low morale among employees will lead unproductive working environment and will affect organization performance. Leaders are responsible in making sure employees' morale are at high level in all time. Good leadership will react to better employee and will help organization to operate smoothly without any major problem. So that's all for our presentation today. So thank you very much.